Hello and welcome, or welcome back if you're a subscriber. Anyways, welcome whoever you are. A little while ago, I got these golden so flat paints. They're not gouache paints, but they're flat and matte. And it's acrylic. So I had this thought that I wanted to try them out with the acryl gouache that I got. I only got the stuff from Turner. I don't have the whole mine stuff that everybody else is using, or nearly everybody. So I got all these different colors. I got a couple of duplets and stuff. And I got this set of Japanese colors. And I made a list of what colors goes in this set. Now the Japanese colors is all kind of a little bit muted and they are extra gritty. They are a mimic of old-fashioned Japanese paints. And I got some also open stock that wasn't in the set. So, and I got a test set of the regular colors. So I got some tiny little tubes here. I bought a set with a palette and some brushes and stuff. And they're all very nice. The thing about the Turner acrylic is that they're a little difficult for me to get after the Brexit stuff from UK. It doesn't work for me to import stuff from UK anymore. It's simply too expensive and too troublesome. I'm really sorry. There was lots of really good art supply stores in UK that I was using, but no more. So my thought is to use So Flat instead over time. That will be the only acrylic matte that I will use likely because it's easy for me to get. It's kind of a lot expensive, but I think if I calculate the milliliter price, it's probably not too bad, to be honest, in difference. So I will pause the camera and sort the colors out that I don't need from here because there's a couple of duplets. So let me get those out of the way. Okay, so this is a little bit of a mess. So these are all the Japanese colors that I have that I'm currently using that is not a double. And I got a whole bunch of regular paints here. So all the little ones came in that trial set. And then I ordered some specials. There were 2 tubes of white actually with this large tubes. It was really good. Then I bought a big tube of dioxazine violet, and the rest are smaller tubes. Grayish blue, pastel sand, aubergine. Aubergine has some fluorescent color in it. It makes it very bright. Sadly, the fluorescent is not the light fast, but I think the rest is more or less. Anyways, I got grayish red, grayish purple, and oh, this is also a Japanese black purple. That belongs up there. I think I'll leave the Japanese colors out just because there's so much else, and these has a different consistency. So yeah, that's the colors I got. I have really enjoyed the Turner colors, and it's definitely not a brand problem. It is a availability issue. So I got the pop set from So Flat, and that means there's a black and a white. There's the white, titanium white. There's a black, PBK 7. I think it's ivory black, naphthol red, light, cadmium primrose, permanent green, and ultramarine blue. Not likely the colors I would have picked myself, but for a starter set and for trial, it is definitely okay. I have already decided that I like these so much that it is a paint I will go on buying. So I'll buy a phthalo blue at some point, and the green when that is done, it is not gonna be replaced. But I'm definitely gonna use the little pots here. On most of, and I got this doodle book. It's Royal Talens Art Creation, I believe. Yeah, Art Creation Sketchbook. It's fairly thin paper, but it's very hardy. It's puts up with a lot of stuff. It has this cream color, and that's a little eh. So let us grab a pen, shake it up, and let's do some swatches. So I've let things dry now, and I have to say the Turner's white and black is way, way, way better than the So Flat. The white is from Turner is more pigmented and covers better. I'm not sure, maybe if I stirred my white better from the So Flat, it might help. But the black is like night and day. I put them up next to each other, and next to Turner's, the So Flat looks nearly grey. Now I did swatch my white first, so there might have been some white pigment in my brush. But even if we look here from there to there, that one is just like so much deeper. I might have to find out where I can buy this in Europe, because I actually like the some of the Turner's colors better. Now this and that, and you saw me battle some separation of pigment and binder in the tubes. That is, don't blame the brand for that. Blame me. Those have been on a shelf for 5 or 6 years, and acrylic doesn't. It's not good to have it lying around for that long. Now, if they had been in something like this, I could have stirred it together, but it's super. I'm sorry, it's super difficult to mix it back in when it's in a tube, because if you do it like this, there's lots of air, so you can't really squish it too much. And if you take the lid off, you risk to squirt it out of the tube. I did mix the black, I think, with a stick, and yeah, it's dirty, but it's dry paint, so it won't contaminate it. That was the best solution. But then you pull out a lot of paint, and if you don't need a lot of paint, then yeah, then you got a lot of paint out of the tube that you can't put back in. So that's a little bit of a problem with tubes. But overall, I quite like. I've always liked the Turner acrylic gouache. Um, the So Flat is nice as well. Um, it's just that I'm a little disappointed in the black, I have to say. I might have to paint a little more with it, but seeing it next to the Turner black, it is just not there. um, the aubergine I said had fluorescent color in it, and as you can see, it looks kind of dull. And I think because again, because this is so old, I think the fluorescent stuff died in this tube. But it doesn't matter because I actually like it better without the fluorescent. You can see a little bit of the fluorescent that is probably in this violet here. Um, and the fluorescent is definitely still alive in here. Um, so this is my fault for leaving it too long and not being able to mix things in together. Don't think it's because it's a poor paint. It isn't. It is me who has left them for too long. And it is one of these things where you get precious about the stuff, because I knew I would have a hard time replacing these because Brexit was coming, and I figured it was gonna be a nightmare getting stuff out of UK. And that was where I bought them. I bought them out of Jackson's. Now Jackson's do whatever they can, and it's not their fault that things went sideways. Um, so yeah, so I got lots and lots of colors. If I didn't know what was what here, I wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. The So Flat is maybe, at least the black, it's maybe a little bit less matte than the acrylic wash, but not by much, and I have to like really look hard at it. So I think I can use them together. And this page, I was just kind of using up my paint because I squished out more paint than the swatches could take. So I'm not done. There, the Turner had a little bit of clumps in it, That dried a little funny, but again, not their fault. It's my letting things sit for too long. I'm not a big fan of convenience colors normally, but I really like these different grays that came, the reddish gray and purple gray and the bluish gray. I really like those. It's colors that I could mix myself, but it's actually quite nice to have them as convenience colors, as well as the one I got in my hand, the beige, or it's a pastel sand. Um, so it's not that I totally hate convenience colors, and grays is like these would actually be some that I would like to buy because they can be a little tricky to get just right. Whereas greens, I really don't care for greens much, except there's the greens from the Japanese set. There's another, it's a pale blue, but it has a little bit of a green tint, and a yellow green and a pale green. I actually love these, and that's because those are muted greens, and but it is colors I could fairly easy mix. Greens are so easy to mix and adjust, but grays sometimes can be a little tricky. Pastel colors might also be something to buy as convenient colors because they take a lot of white to mix. So if you don't wanna, if you know you're using a lot of pastel colors, I find it quite okay to buy them as convenience colors. Otherwise, you need tons and tons of white. To have something this pale, you need. They probably only got a couple of drops of whatever yellow is in there. So I really enjoy them, and when I was playing around with these the first time, I also really like those. And I'm really hooked on these little jars. So should we see if we could mix them? I need something to mix them on, and I don't want to use my palettes because the palette I used, they are really not easy to get. The matte paints are not so easy. That was not too bad, but it was also really thick. Maybe it's okay. Maybe, yeah, it's cleaning my palette that is sometimes a little tricky. When it's regular acrylic, you can just peel it off when it's dry. Let's just try this. So I got this cold cadmium primrose, and I got this warm, this here. So I want to see if this is better to mix a orange with, or if I even can. I have to say to one benefit, the so flat is easier to spread out on on the paper, and it goes a longer way. It's thinner, so a little more runny, so a little easier to do that with. See, it's also how much. Yeah, they mix just perfect. So we got a great orange here. And if you can see if it's gritty, that's the yellow, and it's because it's drying in the tube. I really need to use them up. Totally, totally my fault. But yeah, they mix nicely together. Not a problem. And the mixture, this mixture covers nicely. I think it's because that ISO yellow is just crazy opaque. Yeah, like that. See, it covers the darks just nicely. What should we try and put in? Maybe some of this pastel color. It makes this together just beautiful. And when it's streaky like that, that's because I didn't mix it well enough. Can add a little bit of water. Now I remember why I like this. This is just brilliant. And that those earth tones in the the sand color really muted things down a little bit, really nicely. Oh gosh, it sticks in my brush. Let's try the dioxazine violet. And mix it with some of this green, permanent green. See if we can make some kind of a dark blue. Green really dominates this. There we go. Dusky blue. You can't tell because it's so dark, so let's add some white. So yeah, they mix just perfect together. That makes me happy because now I can paint a lot more different things with both kinds of paint. Last time I used the Turner acrylics, I remember I painted two birds. I'll see if I can remember to put up a link for that video. It was because I was using the Japanese colors for one, because it doesn't have any bright colors. So it might be a little tricky sometimes to use that. Um, but it had the colors I needed for that painting, so it turned out okay. I used the Japanese colors and these regular colors for two versions of the same bird. That was fun. They dry so fast. These paints is just crazy. If you're a slow painter, you might want a stay wet palette for these kind of paints. But there was enough orange to make a olive green. Wild. So I like this test. But I definitely need to figure out how to get some more Turner black. That's for sure. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and come back. Sometimes I do stuff like this. Sometimes I do other things. Bye.